the undisputed greatest snooker player of all time, or an underachiever who was unable to dominate like Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry? Just how good is Ronnie O'Sullivan? What can I say about Ronnie O'Sullivan's breakbuilding that hasn't already been said? Ronnie's statistics speak for themselves. Over 1,300 centuries, 17 maximum 147 breaks, and looking at his centuries per season graph, the most consistent century scorer of all time. He was scoring 20 plus centuries per season during the 90s and 2000s, with fewer tournaments and inferior technology, when only Stephen Hendry and John Higgins could do the same, and in the past 15 years has taken breakbuilding to a new level. His cue ball control is second to none, which is why Ronnie makes so many big breaks. He never has to play a difficult recovery pot. When looking at his frames per 50 plus break statistics, his 2.43 frames per 50 plus break over his 33-year career is absolutely astonishing. For the record, Judd Trump, who is second placed in this statistic, scores a 50 plus break every 2.52 frames, which is over a shorter career where there have been far more tournaments, and for most of Judd's career, he has been playing with modern technology. Ronnie's career has been broken up into different periods, but his world-class breakbuilding has been ever present. Ronnie has changed styles over the years. In the early days, he was a rapid scorer, known for smashing the reds open early and playing aggressively. Nowadays, Ronnie is more of a percentage player. He relies on his superior cue ball control and plays less risky shots, opening the pack up much later in breaks than he used to. This means he has to play less cannons, meaning that there are less shots that can go wrong and mess up big breaks for Ronnie. The eye test is highly favourable for Ronnie. He is without doubt for me the best snooker player to watch in the balls. His rhythm, cue ball control and overall ability means that watching Ronnie breakbuild is pure artistry. It is a thing of aesthetic beauty. I'll keep this short, but I'm striving to get to 2,000 subscribers very soon. So if you like snooker, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more analysis, and stay tuned over the Christmas period for some special snooker content. Also, go and check out the Snooker Hall podcast, which I was a guest on recently, where the host Dan Murin and I discussed the Champion of Champions, as well as the recent title wins of Jack Lasowski and Wu Yiza, and much more. I'll put the link in the description. Ronnie is a very good long potter, but it's very difficult to analyse his long potting as his career at the highest level has been over 30 years long. There have been periods during his career, especially during the late 2000s, where his long potting has been the weakest part of his overall game. However, in the last decade he's been highly proficient from range, and is still up there with the very best in his category. I wouldn't put him alongside Neil Robertson, Sean Murphy and Mark Williams, who are the three best ever in this area, but I'd stick him in the category below, with the likes of Judd Trump and Kyron Wilson. Ronnie's trademark is the long red that allows the cue ball either to go around the back of the black and up for ball colour, or holding the white when potting the long ball for the black. It's an asset that creates so many scoring opportunities for Ronnie, and it's one of the reasons he scores so heavily. My only criticism is that Ronnie, who is definitely a player that relies on touch and feel, can sometimes have matches or sessions where his long potting is wayward. It's that lack of elite consistency which drops him down the level, but overall his standard is world class. Before the legendary Ray Reardon became Ronnie's coach in the mid-2000s, Ronnie's safety play was his weakest asset. After working with the tactical master, however, Ronnie developed a world-class tactical game, and is one of the first players in history to go from having a below-par safety game to having an elite tactical brain. Judd Trump and Neil Robertson are two players who have followed in Ronnie's footsteps, but Ronnie was the first player to do this, and showed everyone that you could be an aggressive and attacking snooker player, as well as a world-class safety player. Ronnie was able to do this because he is a student of the game. His love for snooker and being the best is obsessional, and he is an obvious perfectionist. Ronnie does have periods where his concentration and appetite for match competition fails him, and his safety then drops down a level, but that is a temperament issue rather than a problem with his safety play directly. When Ronnie is on form, and most of the time he is one of the best safety players in the world, with an elite tactical IQ. Now, the temperament of Ronnie O'Sullivan. You could get the best psychologists from the top universities worldwide to do studies on Ronnie O'Sullivan and his temperament, and each and every one of them would probably have differing opinions. Some may diagnose Ronnie with mental illness, some would probably give up, some may define him as a genius. I'm not a psychologist, I'm just a snooker fan who has been lucky enough to watch this man compete at the highest level. In my opinion, Ronnie's temperament is complicated. On one hand, he has been an elite professional for 33 years, won 7 world titles, 23 Triple Crown titles, and has been world number 1 on several occasions, so his temperament cannot be bad. On the other hand, he has threatened to retire on multiple occasions, taking a year out from the sport, conceded a match at 4-1 in a first to 9 against Stephen Hendry, and frequently makes bizarre comments in post-match press conferences. His personality is enigmatic, which is why he's the greatest player in history to watch. Sometimes with Ronnie, you just don't know what you're going to get. Overall though, I'd say his temperament is very good, especially when he's clearly focused and has a goal. His friend and sports psychiatrist Dr. Steve Peters has definitely influenced his attitude in recent years, especially in the biggest events, where Ronnie looks focused and professional. He rarely turns up at a Triple Crown event not looking like he fancies the job, and even if he doesn't win the event, he usually hasn't let himself down anymore by saying something silly or looking like he's given up. You can see this at the recent World Championship, where he reached the semi-finals. Any snooker fan with half a brain could see that Ronnie was struggling all tournament, but he kept fighting and battling and it got him to the final four. 20 years ago, Ronnie wouldn't have got past the first round with that level of play, but his temperament has improved, which allowed him to compete. Ronnie's career has spanned 30 years, so it's easy to find 6 players who we can compare him to over the years. Ronnie O'Sullivan 30, 21 Stephen Hendry, drawn 5. Ronnie O'Sullivan 41, John Higgins 35, drawn 3. Ronnie O'Sullivan 34, Mark Williams 14, drawn 3. Ronnie O'Sullivan 21, Mark Selby 13, drawn 1. Ronnie O'Sullivan 18, Judd Trump 16, Ronnie O'Sullivan 20, Neil Robertson 14, drawn 1. So as we can see, Ronnie has a positive ratio against all 6 direct peers that I've matched him up with. His record in these games is so impressive, and it doesn't stop there. He has positive records against Ding Junhui, Mark Allen, Sean Murphy, Ken Doherty, Peter Ebdon, Matthew Stevens, Steve Davis, Zhao Xintong, Luca Brissell. Okay, you get the idea. Ronnie holds at least a 50% ratio or more against every player I matched him up with, and leads every elite player from his generation. He is the ultimate big game player, and as Sean Murphy has frequently said, Ronnie is the standard. In my opinion, Ronnie O'Sullivan is the greatest snooker player of all time. He is the most successful in terms of Triple Crowns, he has the most centuries, most maximum breaks, and I truly believe he will retire with 8 World Championship crowns. I simply think some things are written in the stars, and I'd be very surprised if Ronnie retired without the 8th. Tournament wins aside, Ronnie's A-game is the best we've ever seen, and I think it may be the best we will ever see. He has a God-given talent to play snooker, and although I understand people may not like his personality, people who deny his greatness as the best player we've ever seen, I really do question, especially when the likes of Stephen Hendry and John Higgins both think that when Ronnie is at his best, he is simply the best. So let's rate him. I understand that this bit may be slightly anticlimactic, but do stay tuned because I will be doing a list of all the players I have ranked so far on my channel. Breakbuilding 10 out of 10, he's the greatest. Long potting 8.5 out of 10, very strong but has patches in his career where it's dipped. Safety play 9 out of 10, elite, not Selby but still elite. Temperament 8 out of 10, his overall weakness but when he's focused it's still an asset. And head to heads 10 out of 10, the ultimate big game player for a total of 45.5 out of 50, which obviously places him in the master category. And 45.5 out of 50 is the highest score I've given so far, which isn't a surprise. So here is the league table of players I have ranked so far. In first place, Ronnie O'Sullivan with 45.5 points. In second place, Stephen Hendry with 44 points. In third place, Mark Selby with 43.5 points. In fourth place, Judd Trump with 42.5 points. In fifth place, Neil Robertson with 42 points. And they're the 5 players who I've ranked in the master category. In sixth place, controversially I know, we have Mark Williams with 41 points. Mark was marked down for his poor head-to-head records against his peers, and I will be making a separate video on Mark Williams, which clarifies why I didn't put him in the master or generational category. In 7th place we have Steve Davis with 40.5 points, who is obviously a legend but has to be marked relative to the players we have ranked. In 8th place we have current world champion Zhao Xintong with 38 points. In joint 9th place we have Jimmy White and Jack Lisowski with 35 points. And then in last place with 34 points we have Stephen Lee. So I've ranked 11 players so far and will be continuing to do so in the future to create my ultimate Baize Breakdown player rankings. Comment down below who you want to see next. But do you agree with my analysis of Ronnie O'Sullivan? Do you agree with my rankings so far? Let me know in the comments.